Narrated by Al-Bara bin Azib. On the day of Uhud, the Prophet peace be upon him appointed Abdullah bin Jubair as chief of the archers, and 70 among us were injured and martyred. On the day of the Battle of Badr, the Prophet peace be upon him and his companions had inflicted 140 casualties on the pagans, 70 were taken prisoners, and 70 were killed. Abu Sufyan said, "This is a day of revenge for the day of Badr, and the issue of war is undecided." Narrated by Abu Musa. That the Prophet peace be upon him said, "The good is what Allah gave us later on after Uhud, and the reward of truthfulness is what Allah gave us after the day of the Battle of Badr." Narrated by Abdurrahman bin Auf. While I was fighting in the front file on the day of the Battle of Badr, suddenly I looked behind and saw on my right and left 2 young boys and did not feel safe by standing between them. Then one of them asked me secretly so that his companion may not hear, "Oh uncle, show me Abu Zahel." I said, "Oh nephew, what will you do to him?" He said, "I have promised Allah that if I see him, means Abu Zahel, I will either kill him or be killed before I kill him." Then the other said the same to me secretly so that his companion should not hear. I would not have been pleased to be in between 2 other men instead of them. Then I pointed him, means Abu Zahel, out to them. Both of them attacked him like 2 hawks till they knocked him down. Those 2 boys were the sons of Afra, an Ansari woman. Narrated by Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger peace be upon him sent out 10 spies under the command of Asim bin Sabith al-Ansari, the grandfather of Asim bin Umar al-Khattab. When they reached a place called Al-Hayda between Usfan and Mecca, their presence was made known to a sub-tribe of Hudhail called Banu Liyan. So they sent about 100 archers after them. The archers traced the footsteps of the Muslims till they found the traces of dates which they had eaten at one of their camping places. The archers said, "These dates are of Yathrib," means Medina, and went on tracing the Muslims' footsteps. When Asim and his companions became aware of them, they took refuge in a high place. But the enemy encircled them and said, "Come down and surrender. We give you a solemn promise and covenant that we will not kill any one of you." Asim bin Sabith said, "O people! As for myself, I will never get down to be under the protection of an infidel. O Allah! Inform your Prophet about us." So the archers threw their arrows at them and martyred Asim. 3 of them came down and surrendered to them, accepting their promise and covenant, and they were Khubayb, Zayd bin Adithana and another man. When the archers got hold of them, they untied the strings of the arrow bows and tied their captives with them. The 3rd man said, "This is the first proof of treachery. By Allah, I will not go with you, for I follow the example of these." He meant the martyred companions. The archers dragged him and struggled with him, till they martyred him. Then Khubayb and Zayd bin Adithana were taken away by them, and later on they sold them as slaves in Mecca after the event of the Badr battle. The sons of Al-Harith bin Amr bin Nawfal bought Khubayb, for he was a person who had killed their father, Al-Harith bin Amr, on the day of the Battle of Badr. Khubayb remained imprisoned by them till they decided unanimously to kill him. One day Khubayb borrowed from a daughter of Al-Harith a razor for shaving his pubic hair, and she lent it to him. By chance, while she was inattentive, a little son of hers went to him, means Khubayb, and she saw that Khubayb had seated him on his thigh while the razor was in his hand. She was so much terrified that Khubayb noticed her fear and said, "Are you afraid that I will kill him? Never would I do such a thing." Later on, while narrating the story, she said, "By Allah, I had never seen a better captive than Khubayb. By Allah, one day I saw him eating from a bunch of grapes in his hand while he was fettered with iron chains, and at that time there was no fruit in Mecca." She used to say, it was food Allah had provided Khubayb with. When they took him to Al-Hil out of Mecca sanctuary to martyr him, Khubayb requested them, "Allow me to offer a 2 rakat prayer." They allowed him and he prayed 2 rakat and then said, "By Allah! Had I not been afraid that you would think I was worried, I would have prayed more." Then he invoked evil upon them saying, "O Allah! Count them and kill them one by one, and do not leave any one of them." Then he recited, "As I am martyred as a Muslim, I do not care in what way I receive my death for Allah's sake, for this is for the cause of Allah. If He wishes, He will bless the cut limbs of my body." Then Abu Sarva, Ubqa bin al-Harith went up to him and killed him. It was Khubayb who set the tradition of praying for any Muslim to be martyred in captivity before he is executed. The Prophet peace be upon him told his companions of what had happened to those 10 spies on the same day they were martyred. Some Quraysh people, being informed of Asim bin Sabith's death, sent some messengers to bring a part of his body so that his death might be known for certain, for he had previously killed one of their leaders, in the battle of Badr. But Allah sent a swarm of wasps to protect the dead body of Asim, and they shielded him from the messengers who could not cut anything from his body. Narrated by Nafi. Ibn Umar was once told that Sa'id bin Zayd bin Amr bin Nufail, one of the Badr warriors, had fallen ill on a Friday. Ibn Umar rode to him late in the forenoon. The time of the Friday prayer approached and Ibn Umar did not take part in the Friday prayer.